It's a beautiful day today.
It is. It's.
Yeah.
I started to say October blue sky, but no, it's November.
It is November. Today's the 2nd? No, the 3rd.
It's the 3rd.
Yeah, today's November the 3rd. Already getting all confused.
Yeah, well, you know,
Well.
we're retired.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what we're going to be doing here right quick for everybody, Vatrer sent us this battery here. As you know, we put a new system in the trailer that are Vatrer batteries, and those are two 460 amp hour batteries, and they are 12 volt batteries, but we wired them in series to make a 24 volt system for the trailer. And we just absolutely love those batteries. They're doing fantastic. We used them for a little while here a while back, but we're going to have a big test coming up here once we get down to Florida, because we're going to be staying in a couple of campgrounds where
We don't have the option of plugging in.
right, we have to go by what, yeah. So anyway, but a lot of you don't know, and we're going to do a brief explanation right quick so you'll know where we're at with this. But y'all might remember that we also at one point built a 600 amp hour system for the van, and we've got a complete series of videos on that in a playlist, and we can go ahead and share that link, you know, to those that would like to go back and watch that. And it worked out very, very well for us. But Vatrer, since they sent us this battery, now since then we have sold the battery bank in the van, and we have a new project that we're starting where we're going to use this battery plus another one, so we'll have two of them. And build a whole new system in the van utilizing these. Now these are going to be they're rack mount batteries, server rack batteries as they like to call them, and these are 100 amp hour 48 volt batteries. And dear, you know exactly what that means, right?
Means I have more power than I had before.
Yes, you will have more power than you had before. But these big 48 volt batteries, they're 100 amp hour batteries at 48 volts. However, because watts is watts is watts, and we will discuss that more as we get into the series here on this, they actually are equal to 4 100 amp hour batteries if you were comparing it to a 12 volt system. But we'll get more into that later as we move on. And of course, we're going to be utilizing two of these batteries. So we'll have a system that is actually, 25% more powerful than the system we already had in the van before this. So we're excited about that.
Yes, we're very excited about this.
Very excited about that. So what we're going to do right now, though, sorry it took so long to go through that, but we thought we'd better explain everything. We're going to go ahead and do the unboxing here so you can see how this is packaged and everything. Now, it comes in a large box here, as you can see, and it's not light. It took a little bit to to get it over here from the van, but we already did preliminaries as far as cutting some of the tape.
They package it like crazy.
Oh yeah, well, hey,
you know,
they're in shipping. You don't know what they're going to do.
of course, it's a box within a box.
Yeah. So anyway, let's open this up.
And then we get to the whatever that is.
Now see, this is the second box right here. This is another box right here. Then we lift this up, and there, lo and behold,
is the battery.
Is the face of the battery itself right there.
And see, it's got, how thick is that? 3-inch foam?
Yeah, that's a good 3 inches, I would say, you know, without actually putting a tape measure on it. And it's packed all around with that 3 inches of foam.
That's why the outer box was so large.
Yeah.
It was because it's fully protected for the inner box.
You betcha. You betcha.
And the inner box has these really hard cardboard things here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all designed so that it arrives to your place without damage.
That's what Deb was referring to. Not only do you have a heavy cardboard box already, but then they add these stiffeners right here to make it even sturdier. Man, we could probably use this box to haul something else later, you know, who knows. But we're going to put the camera down for a little bit because I'm going to have to lift this out of here.
Oh, and it's got some silicone thingies.
Oh yeah, well you got to have your silicone thing.
Well, we don't want to scatter them all over the area.
No.
So there. And the plastic thingy, and it's got some really cool handles so that you can grab that.
And that's what's got me feeling better about lifting it out of here.
Yeah, if I recall, the ones that we put in the house that actually formed a suction.
Yeah.
Which made it kind of difficult. It took both of us to get it out.
We're going to have to deal with that. And we don't want y'all to witness us grunting and groaning.
No, or cursing and yelling. Yeah. That would not be good etiquette.
So what we're going to do, we're going to put the camera down for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and lift this battery out of here.
The goal is to lift it out of here and put it up here.
Right. And I just happen to have another piece of foam that we had saved from our last batteries that we got from Vatrer that I'm going to put up here so that when we pull this out of the box, we can lay it right up on that other piece of foam. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. We'll be back in just a little bit. It was heavy, wasn't it? And it was fun to set up here on the table.
Yeah, it was a good thing it wasn't any heavier, or you and I wouldn't have made it.
Oh, we got it. We got it, though. And I wasn't out of breath too bad.
Okay.
Though dear.
Whatever you say.
Hey, I'm a macho man.
We had instructions from our boys not to do this without them, but we did it anyway.
This is true. Yeah.
Because we're disobedient like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're probably going to get chewed out, especially if they watch this video. But anyway, we've been looking at the manual and stuff before we started talking more about it. And I've done a lot of research on these before all this started. And these batteries, like I say, they're a 100 amp hour battery, 48 volt, technically though, 51.2 as you can see. Of course, you can charge them up beyond that, and I've been reading the manual on that, and we'll get more into that when we get the system set up and everything and go into that in more detail. First thing I want to point out is the batteries are heavy, aren't they, dear?
Yes. Yeah. I forget what you said they weighed, but
yeah,
they were up there.
I think it's right around 102 pounds, 102 to 104 pounds. But keep in mind, yeah, and it's all metal. It's
metal, and it's got these cool little handles.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's built like a tank.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. It's built like a tank. And yeah. And then these, what we do like the feature is these handles do, you know, flip over to the side once you get everything all set up. First thing that I notice is there's a breaker / switch right here, and it is in the off position. Near as we can tell. We'll know more about it when we get deeper into it, like I say. And on these terminals here, now these are M8 terminals, which would be, you know, if you're ordering lugs to wire up your own cables and stuff, which is what we did, you would order, well, on Amazon we ordered 5/16. 5/16 is pretty much the same as an M8. So yeah, but what I do like about this too, and I haven't decided if I'm going to utilize both terminals on each one or not yet, when I start building my rack and everything, which I should say our building our
No, I'm going to stay in the house.
Oh, you are. Anyway, but anyway, I've got a design that I've been playing with in my head for the last month or so on how to put this rack together and have all of the components, you know, where they're easily visible and easy to look at, but and watch and monitor. But the neat thing about these two, let's say if you were going to wire them in parallel, you know, you could run a jumper from one to the next and then go over here and run a jumper on your second battery to the next battery, and so on and so forth. So you wouldn't have to be stacking lugs on each terminal. And I'm looking at
possibly doing a different kind of configuration, which I'll get more into when we start building the rack and putting it together. But it's nice to know that you know, you've got 2 sets of terminals per negative and per positive on it as well. Another thing is that you've got a readout right here. There's 3 separate pages that you can pull up on this here. Of course, we're not going to go through them now because we still have yet to get the system set up, charge the batteries, all that good stuff. But you can easily scroll through, and I think I kind of briefly looked on the manual, and there's 3 different pages, and one shows you state of charge and items that are pertinent to that. Another one shows you temperatures of the cells, temperatures of the battery, and another one I think goes into and I maybe don't hold me to this, you know, because I just briefly glanced at it, but it shows you the voltage of each individual cell, and there are 16 cells in here altogether to make this quote-unquote 48-volt battery. And we already mentioned, of course, yeah, that it is heavy. And I got to thinking, I did check, and it does come with rack ears. And when Deb and I had our sound company, I built all of our racks for our amplifiers and everything that we used in our sound company that we had. And but on those, you had a rack ear that mounted here on the front, but you also had rack ears that mounted towards the back. And this one does not have provision for rack ears on the back. So what I'm going to have to do when I build the rack, I'm going to have to, you know, have a cross beam going across the underside back behind and have it anchored well so it'll support the battery towards the back too. And I'll probably have a rack ear mounted here, a cross beam halfway, and another cross beam back there, built kind of like kind of sort of like a header that you would build over a window in a house or a door or something like that, is what I'm thinking. But I've got to make sure that this thing is, you know, these batteries are nice and secure when they're mounted in the rack that I'm going to build, and we'll go through that as we do it. But quite honestly, that's my only complaint. I wish that they had rack ears for the back as well. That would make it easier to mount them. Another thing that concerns me also is that the screws, where are they at? Where'd they go? Oh, they're hidden in here, but they'll be able to see them. These screws that you can see right here are not very big. However, there is a total of 6 of them over here. Let me get a shot of that so you can see what I'm talking about. But there's a total of 6 screws, and then these would line up on those 6 screws
and
right there.
In their defense,
yeah,
this might be adequate if you were in a permanent situation.
Yeah, but we're going to be driving down the road.
Right. And ours are going to be in the vehicle. Yeah. So we got to make them as secure as possible.
Oh yeah, and we will. We're going to, you know, I've already got some ideas of how to make them mounted nice and secure. So yeah, we will address that. Oh, and by the way, this cable here, no, I'm not going to use that.
That's what they sent us.
Yeah, this is
we like to use a heavier cable than
this. This is 6 gauge, and the smallest size that I would use would be 4 gauge, but we're not going to use 4 gauge. We're going to use 2 gauge, and the main reason why we're going to use 2 gauge is because we bought a lot of 2 gauge copper stranded cable when we built the system in the trailer.
Well, that's not the only reason you're going to use that.
It's just, I just want to use it because, yeah.
We just feel a little more comfortable.
Right, we just feel a little more comfortable. You know, with 2 gauge wire, there's going to be a whole lot less resistance involved. So, and the runs will be short runs with this system that I'm going to build on this. The runs will be short runs, so that will make a difference. Now, as far as the features on the battery is concerned, And this is, and I've been, researching this along the way, and I don't have all of it memorized, but it do have, it's got high voltage cutoff, low voltage cutoff built into it, high temperature cutoff, low temperature cutoff, the manual, which by the way is a fairly extensive manual, and fairly easy to understand as long as you have a basic knowledge of what we're doing here. So kudos to Vatrer because of this manual. And we got decals before, but we never used them. But you know what? We might just start sticking these decals on some stuff. Who knows? But anyway, they all came with that. But that's the fact that it has high temperature cutoff, low temperature cutoff, in addition to high voltage cutoff and low voltage cutoff. Those things are very important. So, it makes it that much more safer. Gives you a more secure feeling about everything. So, anyway, we're excited about putting this system together, and we are going to start working on it. And we highly recommend that y'all look into this if you're considering going with a 48 volt system. And there's some advantages to that, and we will talk more about that, as we get deeper into the project. I don't know what else to say. Do you, dear?
No, I don't.
No.
Thank you.
No.
And we're
thank you, Vatrer, for this.
Going to be working on it, and we'll update all you as we complete each stage.
Yeah, sure enough. Pretty cool battery. Basic dimensions right quick. It's about 7 inches tall. I'm trying to remember what the depth was. I did have it memorized, but I don't now. But let me look here right quick, and maybe I can find it. Oh, here we go. It's a little over about 7. Let's call it between 17 and 18 inches, because it shows the width and the depth. And the width, I think the width is 17.4, and the depth is 17.72 inches. And the height they show is 6.97 inches. So we're just going to say it's really close to 18 by 18 by 7 inches tall, just to make it simpler and easier to remember. And they weigh roughly around 102 pounds. So I don't know what else to say. Do you, dear?
Nope.
No?
I think we covered it.
No? Okay.
For this part of it.
Yeah. So, we hope you all are having a good November, and we hope it turns out to be a good November, all of November for you. And it won't be that long before all of you will be, visiting family over the Thanksgiving holidays. We're looking forward to that ourselves with our children before we start headed down south. And
of course,
Grant, little stinker.
He's walking.
Before we go, we'll tell you what. Tell the quick story about Katie couldn't find him when she was.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. This little varmint.
He's walking now, by the way.
Yes, he's walking, and he is observing anything and everything, and what everybody else is doing. Of course. Yeah. Katie was in the living room with him, and she had to go to the bathroom. Usually Grant follows her. Yeah. This time he did not. She comes back out. He's not in the living room. She starts looking for him. Somehow this little varmint had managed to go into the utility room, open the door.
He's not even one yet. He turns 1 here in just a few days.
Going out to the garage, and they have steps going down, 4 or 5 steps going down into the garage from the utility room. The little varmint got down those steps somehow, and she found him trying to open the car door. I guess he wanted to go for an adventure. I don't know.
He's really into cars, at a very, very...
So as a safety note, the garage door, going out to the garage door now is now permanently locked. You have to use a key to get into the utility room.
Yeah. So, the parents are learning. Anyway, that's enough for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed this. This is going to be an interesting project, and we hope you follow along, and we'll keep you updated as we go.
It's going to take a while, but yeah.
Yeah. We're not just going to just build this thing overnight. There's a lot of thought process that needs to go into this because I want it to be neat.
Plus, we still have to, move campgrounds.
Oh, yeah. I want it to be as neat as possible, as compact as possible, and secure as possible because it will be in the van going down the road with us. The system will be. Anyway, for now, this is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. You know exactly what we're going to say. In fact, why don't you guys just say it with us? We're not camping.
We are living.
Y'all get out there and do some living, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.